Check, check. Ladies and gentlemen, we coming right back at you. You know the ball with the flow. It's the one and only Calypso. Ladies and gentlemen, boy, am I sorry about that. That is day two that has happened, and that's about the last time. Yeah. Good to be back. Appreciate the stream team. Lost a little power right there. My apologies. I'm gonna give a moment, let everybody get back in here. Yeah. Woo! Man, I was feeling it too. I was feeling it and it was cut right out. Cut right out. Dang it. I apologize, everybody. The hard part about this, no joke, I've been using this setup almost all day. Almost all day. I've had Zoom meetings, live call meetings on here, text messages, emails. I've had so much stuff going on in these things. No one problem. I'm 9 minutes into the episode. Bloosh. Technology, am I right? All good. Welcome back, everybody, to Calypso's Lounge. We're glad that you are back, and I do apologize for my technology and the difficulties in which that we have or had. And I promise you, we are working to get those fixed right away. Let's get back into it, though. So we were talking to Spot On. We were getting everything. I was just telling you guys I was in the wrong freaking meeting. I was set up for a meeting that is actually set for tomorrow. But I did finally find the right meeting in the email of hell that I had to go through. And so I found it, clicked on it, got to the meeting, super excited, except for the fact, actually, now that I think about it, I deserve the blackout. That's what serves me right for being 6 minutes late. You know what? Good on me for getting that blackout just now. I deserved it. Let this be a lesson to everybody. Don't be late, right? Show up on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. You'll get that somewhere down the road. I don't know where. Point is, don't be late to any of your meetings. Right? Be a person of your word. Make sure that you show integrity. Your time just as important as their time. So if you set up a meeting, don't miss it. All right. So AWS problems going on in the last hour. It's possible AWS could be having some of those problems, but hey, you guys know me. I take it. I take it. It was definitely on me. I had a power outage, but we're back in here. It's all good. Okay, so we talked to Spot On, and it turns out that the meeting that I had this morning was for teamwork, scheduled for the exact same time as tomorrow, 11 a.m. Except for the meeting tomorrow is for other features that we get with Spot On. So they're trying to sell me some more stuff in case I want it. Here's the good news. Yesterday, if you watch back at the video, one thing that I was talking to you guys about was I thought there was a cool feature that Spot On was offering. And that was all of the tips could be paid out the day of for an extra $75 a month. Yeah. And when I thought about it, I was like, it kind of sucks that I have to pay to get my employees tips the day that they earn them. But $75 a month to have happy employees, okay, it's reasonable. It's definitely doable. There are a lot more expenses that are going out. $75 a month is like the least I can do for employees, especially for my servers, my bartenders, which are the majority of my business. So during the meeting, I found out that information was not true. You know, good news, bad news situation. Turns out, in order for me to use the application Teamwork, which is what I need to integrate my POS and my payroll, that is what cost me $75 per month. So that I'm already paying anyway. What I get for free is the a lot of extra features. I get a lot of extra features, and then the employees. This is also cool. Now, Spider, and you gotta let me know if you like this or not. I think this is a cool idea. Spider is one of my bartenders, and Russell, if you're on here too, I know I see a couple people on here. I don't see exactly who's on here, but I see some people viewing, and so my bartenders on here. You get to choose to opt in if you want your tips day of, or if you want to wait. Now, from my understanding, if you choose to do day of, so like you finish your shift, you calculate the tips that were all online, they will pay you, that will get direct deposited straight to your account as soon as everything clears that day. Now, oh, sweet. That's even better. Um, you get to opt into that. So to me, I think that's a pretty awesome thing. Not everyone has to do it. You get to choose. The only thing I hear is that if you do it, it does take a percentage. I think it was like 1% or 2%. It didn't seem like it was very high from what they said. Maybe I'm mishearing because I've always got information flooding through my head all day. But I recall it being a small percentage. Now, mostly that isn't necessarily a fee to you. Really, what they're doing is they're going to pull it from my account. What they're doing is just creating a pool of money to cover it until all my checks pass the banks and stuff like that. Which either way, I still thought was like a really cool feature. So that's awesome. Now, teamwork, to give you guys more, and the front of the house manager I know is on here. Avarice is up in here. Avarice, you're gonna like this too. All right. Need to get a tip at least once a day. You and I got to talk about that off stream, or definitely the late hours. Okay. Um, now, here, you guys, I think you all are going to love this. Now, to some of you guys, you're like, whatever, this isn't new. To me, this is like, this is like sliced bread news to me. Okay. No, I'm not that old. That's just kind of how big it is to me. When we buy teamwork, which we already have, it's already set up. Okay. As far as I know, um, it's a scheduling tool, which at first, when it was being described, I didn't put that together. I really didn't. I thought it was something else. After I started doing more research, I realized, oh, it's a scheduling tool, but I wasn't sure how their tool was going to work compared to others. And something that I like is so, right after fire, now they got toast. No. um, oh, perfect. Okay. So, and now I'm glad Notoria said this because they actually already use teamwork. So they're going to be completely familiar with this. And what I love about it, you guys get to actually like put up your shifts and take them anytime. Anytime. The managers, this is really cool. This is really cool. The managers get to go in there and put all the shifts in there, and they will stick to whatever your preferences are. So if you say you can't work before noon, we put it in there that you can't work before noon, and it will let us schedule you, but it gives us a ton of warnings. Like they went through it and it reminded us several times that you should not be scheduled for that. So unless you're a moron or a manager that doesn't care, it's really hard to kind of screw that up. And if you're offended by what I just said, you probably should see one of the two categories, and that's why you're offended. Otherwise, you're probably laughing at me right so to me, teamwork is absolutely worth it. $75. It makes it so the managers get to set up their schedules any way they want. We can set up a back of the house schedule that does not affect the front of the house schedule. They can be completely different. We can set up as many templates as we want. So if we have a summer scheduling, a winter scheduling, whatever we want to do, after basketball season scheduling, like literally, we can make up whatever we want. They have a lot of cool features into it, so I'm excited to get started with teamwork. I got a lot to learn. The good news is now that I just saw that two family members who are coming here to do this already know it. I don't know how much of it that they know, and I'll be picking their brain. But the fact that we have a head start on that makes me feel even better. Like I told you, I'm not doing anything except pulling all the pieces together. That's my job. I pull the pieces together. I'm really not doing shit. Everybody else is doing all the hard, dirty work. I'm kind of just kind of keeping the boat rowing. I'm the guy standing up saying, "Row, row," and all the other people are in there going, "I'm gonna make that fucker fall as soon as I can." Like, and that's how I feel. Um, but I'm really, really excited to get teamwork. So shout out to Spot On and Teamwork. To the family, good news. Like I said, it's pretty much set up. You guys will be able to, as far as I know, you guys actually can theoretically start getting in there now. But I do want to make sure that the integration is complete or as close to complete as I can make it. And I've got a few more meetings that I have to do with Spot On to 100% complete. So before you guys jump in there and play around, let me completely finish it. But either way, should be if it's not on this payroll, it should be the very next one. And I think it's actually technically has to be the next one. So either way, we'll be fine. So there's the update from Spot On. I do have a meeting tomorrow again, 11 a.m. with them to talk about all the other additional add-ons. Again, that's really just them going, "Hey, how much money can we get from you? You're already buying this service. Can we interest you in a nut scratching service? Yeah, we can do that for you." That's like they're doing their jobs. I'm not mad at them. Good on them. I get to practice saying no, none, nine. I can practice it in different languages. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. Menus. Today I have spent a ton of time on menus. But before I can really go too much into that, I want to remind you that yesterday, as we said, we got connected with two of our major vendors. And so, Avarice, see, I can't, Aureus and Avarice, you two need to work something out. Okay. Avarice, Avarice and I, we've been looking through the menu, setting up the ingredients that we want, getting prepared. Right now, we're kind of just putting everything in the cart, almost window shopping, and then we're going to break it down, continuing from that. That way, we're ready for opening on December 4th. That's right, December 4th. But today, right after Spot On, okay, thing one and thing two, I'm down for that. Here's the thing right after Spot On, I had another meeting set. One of my favorite people that I've never met, and I mean literally I had not met until today, I'd only talked to her on the phone, called me up this morning. She was like, "Is it?" I love this lady so much. She calls me up on the phone like 9:30 in the morning, and she's like, "Hey Chase, I just want to know is it too early to call you? Is it okay right now?" And I love that. I was like, that's amazing. She was not worried like anything else. That was the first thing she said. She's like, "I just wanted to see, is it too early?" Now, part of me being sarcastic was going, if I say yes, is she hanging up the phone and calling back in 30 minutes? Like, part of me wanted to know where that was about to go, but I didn't want to be rude. And I didn't want anyone to take it as rude. I just wanted to see what would happen if I happened to say no. Like, was she calling back? And what time would she have called back? But I didn't say anything. I actually laughed because I thought it was cute as all could be. And I was like, I messed up. I messed up. In my head, I was like, no, of course not. Like, what? How may I help you? The problem was I didn't say all that. I didn't. I felt horrible when I thought about it. Okay. In my head, here's how that situation played out. I want to show you this one first because that's the most important one. Intention, I hear, is important, both with my spouse and in the court of law. Intention is important. Okay. So here's how it played in my head. She said her little thing. "Hey, is it too early for me to call? I hate when I call too early. I can always call back." And I go, "No, absolutely not. I love you, Gene. How may I help you?" That's exactly how it went in my head. Here's what was said. She says her little thing, and I go, Again, smile on my face because I'm saying it in my head, but the only words that came out, how may I help you? And I felt so let down. I felt so sad. I felt like one of the worst mistakes I made for today. And just for today, because trust me, I made lots of them. But I was like, dude, check mark, no, number one, this is the man. And here's why I was upset with myself. Number one, my brain told my mouth to work, and that's usually not the order in which that it happens. So I was a bit surprised that the mouth wasn't moving. The brain was working a whole lot faster. That was part of the problem. The second part of the problem is the fact that I've done so much customer service in my life that, oh my God, even I felt insulted. And I don't think she did, or at least I hope and pray she did not. Well, no, I don't think she did, but I hope and pray she didn't. Even though I thought she went like, oh, right after I said it, she was like, oh. And I, oh my, and yep, that's the first thing that caught me. I was like, crap, did I say that out loud? And it dawned on me as I reflected on it that I had not said that whole part out loud. So, Miss Jean, I'm using your name out here, not because I'm worried about hiding you or anything like that, but because I know you were the owner and your name is on everything, so I couldn't hide you if I wanted to. And I won't give out anything else. Everyone here that knows Pittsburgh Pizza and Grill knows what I'm talking about. And if you don't, if you're not from around here, dude, you are missing out on one of the most lovely women I've met in a long time, especially since being here in Ohio. So, Miss Jean, I do owe you an apology. I did not mean that the way it came out. Okay. I want that set on record. Now, with that being said, I can tell you I really don't think Miss Jean took it as to heart as I did because we had a conversation on the phone and she was like, hey, can I come by right now? Again, this was 9:30 in the morning. She was like, I would love to meet and come by. And I was like, I want to meet you too. But if you come right now, you're not going to get here until about 10:30. She actually lives a lot closer than I thought she did, so I was way off on time. But I was like, if you get here like 10:30, I have a meeting at 11, and I'm so sorry, and I want to give you all your due diligence, so I do not want to interrupt you, and I don't want you to feel rushed. She goes, absolutely not a problem. She goes, can I meet you right afterwards? I said I should be off the phone with him by noon. It is scheduled for an hour. I'm going to hold them to that noon as much as I possibly can. And I was like, absolutely. She goes, yeah, let's meet. We're set up. So I would pronounce your name, but I just can't, and I appreciate the feedback on that. We definitely, man, all the power to you on that. I love you. I hope everything works out. We do have a Discord and everything. I got a stream team that's absolutely amazing. Yes, we're not that big yet, but we're also doing a very unique way of doing this one. So I do appreciate you, and I absolutely want to take a look at everything. I just want to make sure I said thanks for posting out there. It takes a lot. I definitely know what it's like to be told no a lot, as you'll hear some of these stories coming up here. Not that I'm saying no, I just know what it's like to be told no all the time. Anyway, talking with Gene, we got set up. We set to meet at noon. So I get off the phone with Spot On, and I wait outside for Gene. Now that's who I am. I've been waiting outside for almost every vendor. If I knew they were coming at a certain time, I tried to be outside waiting. And for Gene, I didn't know what to expect. I knew roughly how old she was because of the conversations we've had on the phone, and she's a spark plug. And I hope no one takes that negatively. I do not mean that negatively. I mean she will say something to you that might just catch you off guard, and she is not afraid of it. Like she's not trying to offend you. She tells you exactly how she feels, and I loved her for it. I love talking with her, and so I can tell you that she shared a couple stories. I'm not going to share all her stories. That's not fair. Those are her stories to share. So you guys can ask all you want, but I will not share all those stories. I can't wait to hear more from her, and she plans on coming back in and talking some more. So let me tell you how it kind of went though. Introduce her to my father, old dog. Introduce her to Luck. and we all just kind of like just start chit chatting, like talking, right? Let me check. I want to make sure it sounds all good. Pardon me for just a moment. I just want to make sure it's all good, guys. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Street teams just tell me that everything's they're double checking some stuff again. The only reason why I double check that right now is because we had some small problems. As you guys saw, we cut out a little bit ago, and then also yesterday we had some sound issues. So I'm always double checking to make sure you guys can hear me. So I apologize for the interruption. It's just to make sure we're good, and it looks like right now we're pretty good. Um, so everyone gets introduced to Miss Jean, and she has, I don't want to say a country accent because it's not really a country accent, but she has an accent. I can't tell you what it is. Maybe it's just an Ohio accent, maybe it's just an East Coast accent. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's just there's something to her voice, and I love. I have to. I hope she doesn't get offended. She reminds me of like grandma's house. If I went to grandma's house, she had cookies waiting on me with milk. That's what she reminded me of. And I hope she does not be offended by that in any way because I mean it all with the best of love. But we're all talking, she's laughing, I'm loving her giggle, and all of a sudden I was just like, well, let's go take a look around the front because I was introducing her to Old Dog and whatnot. And we just started talking. She just started explaining what she did when she was here and some of the changes they went through. And no joke, we started in the front of the bar. She kind of took a look at the front, gave us a little things that they used to do. We went to the back, very back, where we have an open bar in the back area. We kind of showed her what was going on and some of the ideas we had. And she talked us through what was in the back, what used to be back there. And then my favorite part, like, well, I mean, all of it's the same part, but she just continued from the back of the bar all the way to the front. She walked through each room pointing out, hey, we have this here. This is how we did it. This is the ingredients we used. Like, she gave us everything. Everything. I I felt so bad because when I have someone walking in with me, and anybody can attest this, especially that have been here, when someone's walking around with me, I take a ton of notes. And if I don't have paper in my hand, I will look at someone near me and I'll be like, hey, write that down for me. And I do it all the time because I take a ton of notes. If this meeting, I did not start with my notes, and I did that for a reason. I wanted to pay respect to Miss G. I did. I did not ask her if I could copy her stuff. And I didn't, that was not my intent of the meeting. My intent of the meeting was to get to know her, to get to know the history and kind of just see where it came from, what she might recommend, just tips. She was successful, her and her husband were successful in this very building, doing pretty much exactly what I'm wanting to do for 20 years. Why wouldn't I listen? And that's what I want. So I had no other intent for the meeting other than that. And she went through the dry storage. She talked about how they had it set up, where they put their sodas, where they put their boxes. Oh my God. I One of the reasons I never wanted to own a pizza shop is because I always heard the horror stories. Pizza boxes everywhere. And that's exactly how she described it, by the way. There were pizza boxes everywhere. So all the family members, I know you guys are watching. Dude, learn to origami. You guys are folding pizza boxes until I retire. And then I don't care what you do with the pizza boxes. But anyway, she tells me where the pool tables were. She tells me where the video games were. She tells me where the bar used to be. I now know why we don't have as much storage as I believe we need. And yes, there used to be enough storage actually behind the bar. Turns out the bar used to be a little bit longer. It was just designed different. No problem. That's no big deal. It just gives me history and understanding of where we've come from. Um, she went through how she makes her pizzas. I'm not even joking with you. I asked her, I went, look, please, please, Obviously, you don't have to share anything with us. And I'm not promising you that I'm going to take everything that you do, but if there is any tips, cooking wise, that you are willing to share, I would love to just pick your brain about it. And she goes, absolutely. What do you got in mind? And I was like, your pizza was different from the previous owner, the ones that I bought it from. She goes, yeah. And I said, I would love to know how you guys made your pizzas. She goes, absolutely. And then she walked us step by step. Old Dog Luck and I literally have the step by step ingredients of how to make PGP pizza right now. I'm going to double down on this. Okay. I wish I had my soundboard. I'm going to double down on this. Luck made a PGP pizza today for lunch using the exact steps that they did 5 years ago for 20 years. And he actually likes the steps that they take in order to pizza. And dude, the pizza looks actually kind of good, like really good. First of all, Luck is all right. Don't tell him then because I know he's not on the channel right now, so I know he's not going to hear this. I'm gonna turn that man into a chef one of these days. You have my word on that. I'm gonna turn him into a chef. That boy, he made the pizza just by listening. I don't even think he took notes. I really don't. He listened to her, which, by the way, any cook that's willing to listen, any student willing to listen, and then he goes back there for lunch. He's like, I'm hungry. You guys want a pizza? I'm like, nah, I'm fasting. I can't do it. I'm on keto. I can't eat the crust. He goes back there. He makes a pizza. He brings it out. Dude, it looked fantastic. It looked even better than what I did yesterday. And that was the second pizza that I'd made. That was the first pizza he'd made. He followed just what they did. Like it, and it looks really good. And Old Dog he was like, nah, I'm not gonna eat any right now. And then eventually he just couldn't take it anymore. It smelled delicious. It wore him down. And he grabbed a piece. And hey, and again, I know Luck's not on here right now, so he's not gonna hear this. So Luck went, he had to go inside, turn some breakers on because we were working. I wasn't doing shit. I was standing around, but they were working. And so Luck goes inside, and Old Dog's like, that shit's actually really good. Like, he's really good. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Yeah, I gotta do something about that. All right, okay, okay. So like, I know I probably bring it up a lot more to Luck than maybe he wants to, but dude, I'm gonna make that man a chef. I'm gonna make him a chef. Dude, well, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna like, I'm gonna just like slowly be like telling him I need him to do research, and I'm gonna be like sending him to classes. He's just gonna be taking notes for chefs, and he's gonna come back and he's gonna be like, all right, I got all the notes. I'll be like, cool. Can you show me what they should? And he's just gonna start cooking and shit. It's gonna be amazing. I'll figure something out. Okay, just don't tell him. Okay, don't tell him. Um, dude, don't tell me. I'm serious. Um, but like the pizzas, dude, I feel good on. I feel good on. Here's something that amazed me. Okay, amazed me. I was talking to Avarice about the pizzas last night. If you weren't watching the episode last night, dude, you got to plug back in. Okay, we were talking about pizzas and pizza sizes. And one of the things that we were discussing is what are the actual sizes. Now, if you didn't watch last night's episode, one of the reasons why this came up is because GFS, my girl Meredith, knocking it out of the park, by the way, she was like, hey, you may only want to do two sizes. And she gave us good reasons why. Highly recommend that you check yesterday's episode on why that was. All right. Oh, no way. Cole. Is that really like Cole you up here? Yeah. I didn't even hear you. Oh, now I'm sad. I didn't even hear the message that you followed. I'm so sorry, man. I got to stop talking. Dude, it's hard to hear some messages sometimes. Cole, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to Calypso's Lounge. Hey, appreciate you. I appreciate you. Welcome in. I hope you join it. You enter every room silently. Just what I need, a silent assassin in every room. That's great. Between you and Luck, dude, I'm covered. Um, So what was I talking about? Dang it, I forgot. I ain't mad. I'm so glad Cole's here. I didn't even realize, man. I was excited. I forgot exactly what I was talking about. Oh, I was talking about Luck and how good his pizza was, right? So yeah, Luck nailed that. I haven't tasted it yet because of my diet, but like it looked great. And here's the number one reason why I'm going to tell you that I know without a doubt it tasted good. Okay, here's the number one reason why I'm going to tell you that. Luck set it down for about an hour. It was just sitting out on the table because we were doing some work around. They were running around. I was doing some stuff. And I walked by it and I looked down at the table. Dude, the pizza still looked amazingly good. Now, it wasn't like hot melted cheese, but you could still see the cheese that had melted and it looked delicious. The way he seasoned on the top of it made my mouth watering right now. I had to stop because I was literally like, oh, I really want to eat that. And I almost had to break my diet because I was like, okay. So that's the reason why I really think um, the pizza I'm not worried about. Dude, we've got our 14-year-old chef who's going to be able to teach us how to make the pizzas from Tin Roof. I've got Luck who's already apparently nailed down PGP. I'm gonna have him teach everybody, the family, when they get down here because the way he did it, dude, it looked amazing. And the way Luck and I have been talking about pizzas, we have the same idea for pizzas. So I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I didn't do shit. I'm amazed at how at how aligned that we happen to be for that. Pizza sizes. That's what we were talking about. So what blew my mind was the fact that yesterday we were talking about pizza sizes. GFS said, "Hey, maybe you should only do two," and I was saying, "Hey, check out why that was." I thought she gave some great reasons why, but the pizza sizes I was thinking about doing was 9, 12, and 15 inches. And when Avarice and I were talking about pizza size, he's like, dude, I'm not opposed to those, but those are some weird ass sizes. Like, where are you getting these from? And I'm like, yeah, they're random numbers. I like, no, that's not true. The reason for me is because if you go for a 9, first of all, that's more of a kid size, right? You want a small. I want a small for the kids, almost a little bit bigger than a personal size, but it's personal size, right? And then I want my medium, so to speak, my medium. Now, when you go up two sizes at a time, which a lot of times your pizza sizes are like 10, 12, 14, 12, 14, 16, something along those lines, you you don't always necessarily notice the difference in size. You just don't, at least me, I don't. Okay. So I was like, well, if you do 3 or 4 sizes or inches, you switch it up a little bit, you're going to notice that size. And if you notice that size, you're going to pay attention to what's on it and how packed we make it and things like that. You're going to be, to me, more satisfied with your bang for your buck. That's my thinking. Not that it's right, just my thinking. We're talking with Jean. We're in the room. She's setting us down. I don't want to give that, or I did give that away, but she's showing us everything that like she's talking about. And she I'm looking at their menu, their original menu, by the way. And I'm just skimming through it, amazed. And one of the things that catches my eyes is I look up at their pizza sizes. And their pizza sizes, no joke, 9, 12, 15. Stanky leg, stanky leg. No, like, you got to be a little excited because I've never ran a pizza shop. I told you guys 2 days ago. That bullshit that you've heard about act like you've been there before, fuck that. I've never been here before. I'm going to act like I've never been here before because I haven't. And so to nail something that had a 20-year success rate, dude, stinky leg that up a little bit. Yeah, now. Oh, yeah. Okay, now. So, do the win. Watch me, Nana. Yeah, okay. So that'll be the last time that happens, I think. or until I get drunk next time, whichever happens come first. Um, so, so, um, I was absolutely excited, not because I was right. That literally had nothing to do with it. Being right has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that it's justification that the research paid off. The time, the hours, the late hours, the non sleep, doing all that research. Again, check back to last week's episodes where we talked about what is that balance of work and life. When you start to feel that justification, that's where you know that work life balance really is. The hard work pays off. That's the balance. You don't work hard for it, it's not going to pay off. Not as big as you're wanting. That's the reason why only one person hits megabucks. It's not everyone's working hard for it. No one's working hard for it. So the payoff's not very big, unless you're that one person. You get my point. So, renewal video reasons. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Definitely don't need it for montage reasons. I can tell you that much. So, Jean goes through, and I told you she literally showed us the very original menu. Um, and when I tell you that I love Miss Jean, I mean like I'm in love with Miss Jean. She not only brought me the very original menu from when they opened day one, she brought me their last menu. So I have a 20-year difference in menus. 20 years. And the one thing I will tell you that I find absolutely amazing, there's not a lot of change. Little deeper in selection, but not a lot of change. And even listening to her tell her stories, they paid extra for ingredients because they knew they were good. She would even tell me how she would pay for ingredients that she didn't even like. And I'm going to share this because I don't think I'm giving anything away. And if I'm wrong, strike me down. And I mean that. Miss Jean absolutely loves bulk Italian sausage. She told us, she was like, I love bulk Italian sausage. But here's a hint around here, they don't like that. They prefer crumble sausage. So she goes, you might want to get crumble sausage. But if you like bulk sausage, you might want to buy it for yourself. She gave us tip after tip after tip. She even told me something. I got to double check. DDS isn't on here, right? Yeah, she's not on here, right? Yeah, okay. Hey, stream team, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to put a block on DDS real quick. Don't let her up in here. Because if she hears this next part, we're going to find a much different work life balance. Let's just say that. All right, she's not in here, right? Okay. All right, you guys got to block her now. I see her right there. You got to block her. She's not going to, don't let her hear this part. All right, you guys got her blocked, right? Okay, good. She's blocked. Okay, cool. Okay, I see it. She's blocked now. She blocked. Okay, so check this. Check this. You banned her? Dude, you're getting your ass whipped. Probably by me because I'm the one that has to do that. But either way, it's still funny. So check this out. Jean, Jean's telling us everything, right? Okay. She's telling us how they serve their pizzas. She gave us a cheat sheet for how they make their sandwiches, their cheeseburgers, their subs, everything. Like she gave us everything. But she gave me one more thing. She gave me one of the biggest tips that I was not ready for. Turns out, it's haunted. According to Miss Jean, I love Miss Jean. Miss Jean said that there is definitely, without a doubt, a presence within the bar. And I was like, now I'm so glad you have not met my wife, and I need you to sign an NDA. Promise me never to tell her that, or I've got to go through a world of hell trying to undo everything. And she laughed. I was not laughing at that time. She thinks I'm joking. I was not joking. So I'm like, I'm intrigued. I want to hear more. How do you know this place is haunted? Now, I'm going to be upfront. I'm not a spiritual person. And if that makes you tune out right now, you should have gotten that from all the alcohol I drink. But I'm not an overly spiritual person. Okay. I don't believe where a lot of people do, and I am in no way going to start preaching right here. That is not my goal, unless we are talking to the Lord Almighty of alcohol and Jaeger himself. Unless we're preaching to those two, or the porcelain god, we do not preach on this channel. Okay, those are the only times we preach. Any other time, all I will say is this: I believe differently than a lot of people. And when it comes to being haunted, that is just not one of them that I truly believe in. And I won't get into the whys, but someday, if you want me to, put it down in the chat. I'll tell you. I'll share the story. But I'm like, how do you know this is haunted? She goes, there were times you just hear things that doesn't make a lot of sense. Now I feel like I'm an 8-year-old kid. More specifically, I feel like I'm a father of an 8-year-old kid going, it's just the leaves on the window. That's what I feel like, but I don't say it, and I'm not trying to patronize. I love Miss Jean. I absolutely love her, but that's what I'm thinking in my head a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm hoping she's gonna give me more. And she goes, sometimes. You ever have that thing where like you're working with something like a tool and you put it down and you turn around and it's just gone? And I'm like, yeah, but that's usually because either I drank too much or I smoked too much and I forgot where the hell I put it. But again, I did not say that out loud. Pretty sure. I did not say that out loud. I thought it in my head. And I was like, I do know what she's talking about. I do know. There are many times I was like, swear I put that right there. And she goes, no, it happens a lot. I was like, okay. And she goes, she wasn't the only one that has seen it. And I was like, okay. So far, not really convinced. Haunted. And then she told me the next part, and I went, okay, in my head, I'll tell you what happened afterwards. I'll tell you how that played out in my head much differently. Okay. So what she tells me is this. She goes, first of all, she couldn't remember his name. And then all of a sudden, as she was telling this story, she actually remembered his name. And she goes, it's Arthur. So, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this is not the breaking news, by the way, but Arthur is a part of the barn. Okay. Now, she was describing Arthur. Obviously, not the way he looked, because it's ghosts, right? Okay. I'm not the way he looked, but what he did. She goes, this is one of her stories. And I'm not sharing all the stories, but this is one of them I have to. I have to. And I in no way think that she's gonna be too worried about this. Okay. Um she goes, we were walking out. She's telling the story. Her sister and her, they were walking out. Okay. And she goes, everything was turned off, and then all of a sudden, lights, TV, things just right back on. And they knew it was Arthur, and they were like, Jean was not worried. She goes, hey, not a problem. I'll take care of this and send her on her way, right? And she goes, while I was over there turning on the TV or turning out all the lights and everything, she goes, Arthur, you knew it was him because Arthur was a little handsy. I'm sorry, Miss Jean. What do you mean that Arthur's a little handsy? And she goes, it was weird. Like you could be standing there and you would feel a tap on your shoulder. And I'm like, yeah, my brother has a habit of doing that too. He'd tap me on my shoulder. I look over it. I know I look the wrong way. I got that. And then he's on the other side going, ah, yeah. like we're 12 years old again. Okay. My brother did that all the time. But she goes, yeah, no, you tap on the shoulder, you would feel it. And you would look over and there's just no one around you. And I was like, okay, I get you. I get you. And and then she goes, and that's how it started. Was he would tap you on the shoulder, and then he started tapping you on the back, a little bit, and then he started tapping you in the rib. And this is what she's saying, and I'm like, and she goes, and then he started tapping you on your butt, and I'm okay. Now I didn't laugh out loud. I know for a fact I didn't laugh out loud. I checked the cameras. I wanted to make sure I did not laugh out loud. Okay. Okay. Here's how that whole scene played out in my head. From the moment she said, he's handsy, here's how it played out in my head. And I was on the floor laughing for the rest of the time because that was one of the funniest things. So we have a 1920s ghost. The old, way before Hooters ever got invented, 1920s hands on ghost in a speakeasy seems to be what's going on in here. And just so we're clear, just because I am not a spiritual person does not mean I am dumb enough to tempt the gods or whichever ones you may or may not believe in. So, Arthur, I welcome you to the Tin Roof Tavern. And later today, when we close down, one of the shout outs go to you, my friend. And I can't wait to get to know you a little bit better. Now, enough of that story. You can unblock DDS. Let her come in, and we will regale her in a glorious story that she will not want to kill me about. All right. Now, talk to you about Spot On. We talked to you about some of the things that we fixed. Talked to you about the menus. We told you what actually went on with Miss Jean. Okay. Next thing I can tell you about is about December 6th, December 7th. Okay. December 6th, December 7th. Tin Roof Tavern is going to be in the Pittsburgh newsletter. Now, Pittsburgh's not quite big enough to have a newspaper. It's a newsletter. And I'm not laughing. I am not laughing about the size. Everybody's got to start somewhere. Okay. It could be a postcard, doesn't matter to me. But I'm extremely excited that they are adding us to the newsletter for Pittsburgh for the December issue, and it goes out once a month. It's going to be available in the post office, pretty much cat a corner from us. And I can't wait to get it. And you better believe I'm going to hang it up in the bar and I'm going to be proud of it, just like I plan on doing everything else that we do. I'm extremely excited for that, right? But got to talk to her. Now, here's the interesting thing. The lady that runs the newsletter was at the city council meeting, and she had already knew a little bit about us, so she wanted to ask me some questions and get a little bit more of what we were doing. And I had a great time talking with her. And here is the number one thing. I easily talk to 10 plus people today. I've talked to probably an average of 10 plus people every day, hence the voice. All of them keep saying the same thing. They're so excited that we're here. They're so excited that we're here. And they've got a lot of great ideas. They can't wait. I've asked everybody, be patient with us. We're coming into this, we're learning some of the stuff. We want to help you out, but it's got to take some time. And everyone's like, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me catch up real quick. Look forward to DDS smacking me right upside the back of my head. Yeah, that's true. That's going to happen. If she finds out details, that's the least of your concerns. That's true. That's also true. I hope that it works better for you than it did for me. That's true. He ended up in Texas. Just saying, throwing that out there. Yeah, be careful. Hope you like Alaska. Anyway, um, all the limp. That's funny. So that's going to be an interesting story. I want to get back to it real quick. So I got to tell you a story. Got to tell you a story. I have two stories coming up for you. First of all, one of them is about our very first complaint that we've gotten. The second one is actually a story from yesterday that I did not complete to tell you, and I need to do so. So those are the two stories I have coming up. But before I do that, I want to take a small break, so to say, and I want to remind everybody: December 4th, we are open, and we, the Tin Roof Tavern, the family, all going to be down here, and we are going to be open from 5 p.m. to close. Not our ideal hours. That's going to happen. Be patient with us on that one. But that's December 4th. Now, if you have not been watching, you've been missing out because we made the announcement on December 5th, the special guest 11 on December 5th. Okay. Um, to see him. He's got a huge following. We're listening to some wonderful music. That is December 5th. But wait, there's more. We wanted more than just one day. And we are very excited to have Toby. Absolutely excited. But my entertainment team has been reaching out to some people, and we wanted to know all the musicians in the area. And we said, hey, we want to know, who does the community want? Who should we have back? Who is the best one that we need to actually? Who are all the people that we got to get? And boy, did we get a response. And I will go out on a limb and say we got more of a response than I actually expected. So we're clear. But I am very, oh man, that thing's going on. Hold up. I got to make sure. Oh, okay. Some issues with the sound last 2 minutes. All right. Hold up. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. Refresh. Are we back? Your hips don't lie. Yeah. Hold on. See, this is why I talk with my stream team. It's because they immediately told me, they're like, hey, whoa, what's happening? Avarice, I see you. December 5th, blank screen. Let me come back. We're trying to get it back, everybody. Hold up. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Check. We coming back? Oh, what's happening now? We back up here? Oh, I'm checking on a couple things for you guys. Let me know when we're back. Coming at you. Everything on my end looks like we're connected. Everything on my end says we're connected. I take it we are not. Can't hear audio. 3 words? All right. Purple movies, Patrick Swayze. Straight line. Hydroponic farm? That's not important. It's still funny. Oh, maybe. Better? No. What's going on? Let's see what happened. Can you do it in sign language? No, I can't. Sorry. It got stuck. I'm hold on. Check. Anything? Nothing? All of the above? Check. Lost audio. All right, hold on. Let me check one more thing. Let me try. Whoop. We're coming at you. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Whoop. Maybe? Anything? Maybe? Possibly? Here we go. What happened? How did we lose everything? Dude, like literally on my end, everything's okay. I don't know. There's nothing wrong. Hey, old dog, we still down? Can you check the audio of the stream? Everybody's telling me it's not working. We work it. We work it. I'm glad the silent. How is the audio back? I didn't do anything. You've got to be kidding me. I did nothing. Actually, I checked every setting, but there was nothing to fix. I have no idea what happened. According to everything I'm seeing, we were fine the whole time. I think the problem is all of y'all. I think that's the problem. Did you ever think about that? See, Avarice fixed it. I look at that. Best managers in town. Just saying. It's Arthur. It might have been Arthur, actually. Hey, shh. Is DDS up in here? Shh. Don't know I mentioned Arthur, man. Come on. Shh. Trying to get me in trouble. Trying to get me in trouble, man. You know what I noticed? Old dog. No. So yesterday when we had audio issues, old dog logged in. Audio issues came back. Today I was shouting out. I'm like, old dog, do I have audio issues? He logs in. Everything comes back. I think he's a genius. Could be. Could be. Or he's sabotaging. One of the two. Twitch is banned. I got banned. Oh, she saw everything. Notorious, we gotta talk. You learned that just now? Wow. Okay. All right. So let's get back into it. Guys, I was telling you, we got to December 4th, we're opening up. December 5th. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Spider on that one, by the way. Yeah. December 5th, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you, in case you missed it, we have the very one and only Toby Leach coming in December 5th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., bringing country, rock, a little bit of blues, mixture, great voice. We're going to drop some Spotify and his connections so that way you can check him out. We hope you guys are here in the bar to listen to him. It's going to be a great time. In fact, I can tell you, we've already got a reservation for the 5th, a 10 spot. I don't know where we're going to put them. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. Now, I told you guys, or if you read the description, there's a very special announcement coming out today. And I want to tell you that announcement now, actually. I know I still got two stories to tell you, but I want to tell you the announcement now because I want to make a big deal of it because it's a big deal. Okay? You guys ready? Here we go. December 4th. As you know, we are without a doubt opening that day. It's going to be our first day reopening. Okay? But this family, we don't do anything normal. And we damn sure don't do anything easy. Because where most people would just be excited going, hey, we're gonna open, yay. We're gonna make sure we're okay. We're not gonna get overloaded. Yay. We said fuck that. We tossed that script out the window before we even wrote it. And I am here to tell you that after searching around the Pittsburgh area, Greenville, Dayton, Laura, all the Ludlow Falls, all the local cities, we sent it out, and for a few days, we got told by the entire community who we needed to get. So today, I am proud to announce that on December 4th, at our very opening show, We got the one and only, I hope I don't mispronounce his name, Jeff Rearick. Yeah, give me that excitement. Oh, yeah. Oh, give it to me. Give it to me now. Yeah. Yeah. I am so excited. I listened to the guy sing. Dude, I can't wait to hear him live. I can't wait to hear him live. And so that's it. We got on December 4th, Jeff Rearick. December 5th, we got Toby Leach. But wait, there's more coming tomorrow. We're going to make another announcement coming up very soon. And I hope you guys are going to be with us when we make that announcement. So make sure you stay tuned tomorrow to figure out who's going to be playing with us next. And I hope we clip that because that sounded absolutely horrible out of context. Now, I know my stream team. I guarantee you that got clipped and that will come back to bite me in the ass later. So, where does that leave off? Two stories to tell you. Two stories to tell you. Okay. Yeah, did you hear that? Jeff is a huge favorite. He's going to do absolutely amazing. Hey, I figured there is no better way to open up a community spot than having a community artist lead the way. So that's what we got. I am very excited. Jeff Rarick's going to kill it. So, oh, and don't forget, December 4th, we've already got an 8 spot. Dude, we got 2 big tables already on 2 of our days of opening. Oh, we gonna kill it. We gonna kill it. 2 stories. Let me start with the one from yesterday. Okay. I didn't tell you this story yesterday because actually I partly forgot it. And I was a little sad at myself for forgetting it because this is a small town story. Yep. We moved to a small town because I love small town feel, and I may be regretting that. Here's what happened. If you look back to last week, I told you a story about somebody who entered my bar while Old Dog and I we were here by ourselves. We were moving around the kitchen a little bit, little of the grill, and I saw someone walking in the bar, and my old Vegas style came out, dude. I almost dropped the grill and was like coming up over. I was ready. I was very defensive, very fast. Truth, right? My father had my back turned. I didn't know who this guy was. I got defensive fast. Turns out he's just a local, right? Right. And the guy's so cool. He came in, he was just like, hey, I wanted to introduce myself. I come in here all the time. He was asking this question. He was a great guy. Okay. Check back at that video. You listen to that story. It was crazy. Okay. But here's the thing. Yesterday, Luck, Old Dog, and I were sitting out in the back. We're at the back bar. We're talking about the things that we're getting done. We're having a little powwow. This is what we got done so far. This is the next thing on the list. Let's get going. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, our cameras start going off, our alarm system. Somebody's up in the bar. Who the hell's in the bar? We're right here. Like, who walked in? I peeked my head around. There's a car sitting there. This car's not parked. It's like literally like if you had a line of parking spots and you were going to like Kroger, he pulled right in the middle and took like 3 of them. Like he side parked. But he didn't park. Dude, the keys are still in his car running. Never turned the car off. He's not in the car. There's no one in the car. There's no one around but the 3 of us. And my Vegas style came out, dude. I just got a brand new car. I'm gonna have that VIN number scraped off. I'm gonna have those plates changed in a matter of minutes, dude. This is nuts to me already. But I'm more worried about who the hell's in my bar. So I got the best team in the world. I didn't even have to go running in there. Dude, Luck and Old Dog are like, we got this. They start walking in like they're roadhouse, like bouncers. They're just like, let's go, buddy. Now, you guys have met Old Dog a few times. That boy is protective as all can be because again, he thought he was Patrick Swayze before. Like I even asked a question. He's like ready to go. And Luck right behind him, like, let's go. He's like super dog, ready, just like he was there behind. And I was excited. And I was like, cool, this is awesome. Turns out it was our good friend. He returned to the bar and he was looking for us. So he did what he knew. He went through the same door, walked through it, and he couldn't find us. So he started walking through the whole damn bar looking for us, just peeking indoors. He wasn't taking anything, he wasn't malicious in any way, just looking. He ran into Old Dog and he ran into Luck, and they just started talking. That's that old town feel I'm telling you about. So I come walking in a little lazy behind because I'm like, I bet you I know who it is. I had a feeling. I did. I said it. And I can attest to this because Avarice was on the phone with me at the time. And I was like, dude, he goes, was it the same customer? And I went, I think so. And so I hang up with Avarice and I start walking in. And sure enough, it is him. And I'm talking to him. And all I can think in my head is like, look, buddy, I'm glad you're excited. Stop walking in my damn bar. Now, some of you might be thinking, what if you locked it? And I think that's reasonable. I do. But when we're not open, no one's supposed to be just walking up in there. What do you think would happen if I went walking up in his house? Probably get shot, especially out here. It's a Republican country. They love their guns out here. I can tell you that right now. So, I absolutely love small town. I really do. I might be regretting that soon. And we're going to have to now start playing security defense on one of our guys that walk in. Now, here's the thing. I want to tell you this right now. I'm gonna extend this story just slightly. I talked to him for a few minutes, right? And he's a little bit of an elderly gentleman. I don't know his exact age, but he's definitely a little bit elderly. And I found out he goes to dialysis. And I was like, hey, and he had told me that just at that very moment, he was like, yeah, I'm just coming back from dialysis. And I think I shocked him a little bit. And the reason why I shocked him is because I started talking to him. I was like, hey, how do you feel? And he was like, oh, no, I feel good. And I was like, no, no, no. Like I know how dialysis works. And I know sometimes if they take too much off and you saw his face and it kind of lit up a little bit. And so he starts talking to me about it. And again, I'm not going to share his personal story. That's for him to share. But it just made me feel good. Like I'm already connecting with him, even though he's probably going to be in the bar and he's going to be a handful for me. I have no doubt. But it's one of those like fun handfuls. I I don't know if he's completely sound in mind, but I don't really care. Like I'm a little concerned only because when he tried to leave, he did try to go through the bathroom. Uh, and I'm not laughing at him. I'm not. I'm laughing at the fact that like you have to understand the situation. I had just walked in. I had talked to him for a little bit. He was in a great mood. I was in a great mood. No one was mad, yelling, anything, no threats, nothing like that. It was just a conversation. And he was like, oh, I can't wait to be in here. I'll see you later. And he starts to go through the bathroom. And I'm like, hey, why don't you come back through this way? And he's like, you sure? Like he thought he was going the wrong direction. Great guy. Great guy. Um, in no way am I worried like about him per se. Like I said, I just got to play a little bit of security defense maybe. And then once things get started, we will keep the door a little bit more locked, and we'll have employees kind of in the areas where I need them. So I'm not overly worried. But I had to tell you that story just because to me it's really cool. It's one of the things I love. It's going to surprise the hell out of my family a few times, the way people act in a small town. And that's because I'm still being shocked. Again, I'm getting used to him just walking. I know, no invitation. Or he took my invitation maybe a little too literally. When I said stop by anytime, dude, he took that like to the next end. He was like, "Thank you, I'll do that." Um, last story, last story I got for you. Let me double check it. Last story. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, first complaint. I want to get a little serious on this one because I don't know what the hell that means. But I want to talk to you guys about the very first complaint that we've actually received here, Tin Roof Tavern, while we've had management for the last week, week and a half. And I take them very serious, and I am going to talk about them. I just as I talk about all the great things that we're doing here, I got to talk about all the bad things we do. And if you are new to the show, like Cole and BJHVGCXY, if you're new to the show, like those two, like you haven't seen some of other episodes, maybe, so you um, may not recognize that we promote it and we learn a lot through growth here. And when I make a mistake, dude, I have flaunted it on air. I have not shied away from it. Just to give you a quick like a small glimpse, definitely check out previous episode. Like old dog and I had to come back early one weekend because we didn't lock the door properly, and we talked about it extensively. How bad we were. Like we make mistakes, and we learn from them. It's you learn more from them than you will ever learn from being right and perfect, unless you happen to be one of my good friends. Shout out to Bill, man, I miss you. Well, lots of love, my man. But yeah, this complaint that we got, and I'm going to put it out there because it's to me, right? It's to me, my family, my business, and as I've told you guys, I'm going to give you behind the scenes. I may not give you absolutely everything, but I'm gonna give you as much of the rundown as I can. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to make you see just one side of it. I can only tell you what I know, and that's what I will give you. That you have my word of. So here's the complaint, and I'm not trying to trick you either. I've done that a few times on the channel where I act all serious and then it's really actually a good news. I know I've done that a couple times. This is not one of those times. This is an actual complaint. Um, Here was the complaint. I'm not going to read it word for word or anything like that. But the complaint was that myself, but specifically my business, have not done a good enough job of promoting a positive environment. Okay, that is what it was. Now there are definitely more details to that. Okay, and I'm going to give you some. What that complaint derived from is since taking over the Facebook page and some of the social media, we have been asking, hey, what did you like? What would you like to see back? What would make you happy here at Tin Roof Tavern? And I will admit, 100%, those are the questions we have asked. And we have gotten some pretty honest feedback. We have received feedback that the pizza that was here before Tin Roof Tavern is the absolute best. We've received feedback that Tin Roof Tavern is the absolute best pizza. We've received that the people before Tin Roof Tavern were the best customer service. We've received people that at Tin Roof Tavern was the best customer service. It's all over the board. Positives for everyone, as I really hope it should be. But with every positive, you have to learn you're not going to make everyone happy. And I've learned that lesson more times than I care to count. So I guess I can't really say I've learned it. I keep making the same mistake, but I keep trying to learn from it. So this person reached out on our social media and they said, hey, I don't appreciate that you're not keeping that positive environment. No one should be trashing any of the previous owners. And to that person, I say this I 100% agree. No one should be bashing on anybody. Not the previous owners, not the current owners, definitely not the current owners, but not even each other. What we need to be doing is communicating. And to that person that sent the complaint, I do say this to you. I am not here to censor the people. That is not my job, and I do not plan on picking up that job. I have asked for their opinions, and I want their honest opinions so I can grow. In my growth, I have to learn through some of my mistakes. And I do apologize to you that if you feel disrespected because some of the mistakes happen to hit home to you, that wasn't my intent. My intent was to learn. Just as you probably may not have had the greatest of parents growing up, you did learn what not to do, and I'm trying to do that as well. So, to the previous owners, both to PGP and Tin Roof Tavern, I want to make it clear live that I have nothing but the utmost respect to all of you. And I actually have an undying gratitude to each of you. Because the truth be told, that if any of you would not have done what you have did for 25 years, I wouldn't be here. My family wouldn't be here. And we wouldn't own this barn. And this little boy's dream, with my wife and my brother, would still be nothing more than a dream. So to everyone that has previously owned this place or had anything to do with it, whether it be community, an employee, a boss, anyone, I wish you the absolute best and gratitude. Thank you for all the hard work you've done. Now, I will still continue to encourage growth. So, I want all your feedback. Just as I ask you on this channel, damn, how'd I fuck up today? I want to know. And I want you to be honest. Because that's the only way I know it. So, for our first complaint, that's the best I got for you. If you're not happy with that, sorry, that's all I had. That's my give a damn's busted at that point. So I didn't have anything else. That's my polite way of handling that. Let's take a look. After set for all complaints, please see Calypso. For those complaints he cannot satisfy, you will be passed on to Avarice. You will then ask for Calypso back. That's probably pretty accurate too. See, when it comes to my wife, I'm the last person you want involved. If my wife looks at me and goes, could you handle this? You done fucked up because I'm not asking questions. But if I'm an owner and I'm trying to run things, I'm going to work with you for as long as I possibly can. And when I finally reach that point, and I will promise you, I will reach that point. I did it with students all the time. Then you go deal with Avarice. Why? Because I was the nice guy. He's not going to be as nice. There's a good chance the January newsletter will not be as kind to the Tin Roof Tavern as the December one will be. uh, man, I'm all excited. Ladies and gentlemen, dude, that's it. That's it for today. That was everything that we did. So let me get you into what we got to do tomorrow. Okay. Um, Number one on the list. I still, not just me, Avarice and I are still going through the menus. We know what let me rephrase. We know what we want to serve. Now we're getting the ingredients for it. We're still working on that. Tomorrow I have another appointment with Spot On. That's our point of sale service. They're going to try to sell me on a few more things, but also it's like because I have never been welcomed into this application before. They're meeting with me to kind of give me some rundown of how to use their system as well. And I can say my keto's starting to kick in because for my last 2 days, I really thought my face was looking fat. Today, I can see it's going down a little bit. So I know my keto is working in and putting that weight back down the way I want it. Squirrel. Anyway, so I've got that going on. Tomorrow, we're also going to be back in the kitchen. There are two goals for the kitchen. If you recall to yesterday's video, we got to change the faceplate for where we're going to put in the fryers. Then we're going to call Mega City. And then the second thing we're going to do is change the faceplate and a conduit for where we're going to put in the oven. Since we've talked with Miss Jean about some placements of things, we're actually going through the kitchen and seeing if maybe there are some other changes we could make based off of what they did that could help us. Probably won't be any bigger changes than what we've already said, but at least we're going through it. Next thing I got to do. Again, most of my work's all administrative right now. I really wish I could show you some of the fun stuff, but getting everything set up really isn't a lot of fun. Paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. And then tomorrow, one of the other administrative things I got to do, not I got to, I get to. I didn't tell you what else Miss Jean brought me. Yeah. Miss Jean not only brought me the menu from when they opened to when they closed, so I have those two menus. She literally brought me the entire sales receipts for their whole last year. Everything they bought from their major vendors. She not only told me about it, she showed me these folders. She just had them sitting around. She was like, "Look, I brought these from my attic. I didn't know if you wanted to look at them." I was like, and I started looking at them, and they are receipts, invoices. I like I know how much money they spent in that last year on food. I know how much they spent on their sodas, their beverages, how much they spent in their alcohol, like breakdowns, like down the board. But most importantly, what I love about it is it's the ingredients that they have and where they got them from. And we have three of the four major vendors they use. The fourth vendor they used is no longer in service. They got bought out. So I've got to do some research to figure out who they got bought out by. Are they still around? What's going on? But minus that, we have literally three of their four vendors. We've got their whole menus. We've got how they made their menus, how they made each item on their menus. We've got everything that they bought. And so now I've got to get all of that scanned. And I want to make it clear. I just said yes. I said scan. I asked her before she left, and I did it multiple times. I said, "Would you mind if I made copies?" And she goes, "No, absolutely. Go ahead." She goes, "I just have to get them back because it's all I have left." I'm like, "I'll give them back. Do you mind if I make copies?" And because I said, this is a lot of paperwork to go through. And if you need me to go through this fast, I am swamped with other work. There's no way it's going to happen. No, this does not make us a franchise. That I am not franchising. No, that is not happening. I tell you what, I will become a franchise after Mayor Avarice JD tells me to. Uh-huh. Deal. Shake on it. Anyway, so Miss Jean, absolutely one of my favorite people in this town so far that I've met. One of my favorite. I can't wait for the family to meet her. You're gonna love her. The other news I can give you about Miss Jean is she told me one more piece of news that I thought was one of the greatest things that I'd heard recently. And she goes, "My husband is very excited to meet you guys." Now, this is a gentleman that didn't want to meet with us at first, and not that I expected him to. And I don't blame him because, ooh, I heard the story on what happened. And that is definitely one of the stories I'm not sharing because that is not for me to share. Okay. But I can tell you, boy, was it juicy. And I can understand the perspectives that happened. But more importantly to me, because I can't change the past, I don't care about it. I try not to repeat the problems of the past. So I have invited them in. That is PGP Pizza, Jean and her husband, Miss Jean, and they're coming in. He has a very hard work schedule, so he's going to come in on one of the weekends. I told him that I'd love for him to try some pizza and give us some feedback, let us know some of the things we're doing. And they are actually interested in coming in and talking to us, and he is too. And even she goes, "Hey, he actually wants to do it," and I'm really surprised. And I was like, "I'll take it." She did say that most likely, well, she didn't say most likely. She goes, the reason why is because you guys are really excited. You can see the passion and the excitement that you guys have for what you're doing, and that makes them excited. So, to me, all good news. All good news. Now, did everything go our way today? Not even close. I don't think I really got anything accomplished today. Like I legit, I did not cross anything off my list other than I did that, I did that, I did that. But nothing is I completed that. Nope, I ain't complete shit. I can tell you, Lucky and Old Dog did. First of all, they fixed one of the outlets that were outside. It was completely busted, and I wasn't overly worried about it. Old Dog's like, nope, that ain't safe. We gonna take care of that right now. And he went out there. He found out he did it correctly. I want to say, if you actually recall back to our first episode, Old Dog and I, speaking of making mistakes and airing it, Old Dog and I made a mistake in our first episode. We had actually tried doing some electricity work without shutting down one of the breakers. And I'm happy to report we didn't do that this time. We actually shut down the breaker correctly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Didn't break anything this time, not at all. So, see, we do learn from our mistakes, or at least from the past. Sometimes. Every now and then. Occasionally. So, not only that, luck. Dude, I told you guys early in the episode. I know he's not on right now, so I can say this one more time. I know he is not on. I'm gonna turn that boy into a chef. Okay. He cooked yesterday. He cooked burgers for the three of us down here, and he just volunteered. And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll take a burger. Make it keto, love to." And then, and then, dude, it was so good. He made it like almost like I love a burger, melted bun, toasted. Oh man, it was really good. The dill pickles were good. The meat sucked, but that's not his problem. That's just because that's the meat that was in here. But a really good burger. So then tonight we're coming up and he's like, "What are we doing for dinner?" And I was like, "Dude, you make a couple more burgers?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can make burgers. You want a pizza?" And I'm like, "I can't eat the pizza, but I'd love another couple burgers." He goes, "How many you want?" I'm like, "Dude, make like three." He's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, make three because I'm pretty sure the third one I'm going to eat a little bit later, but at least make the two because I'm going to eat those for dinner." And sure enough, I ate two burgers. Don't judge me. I'm on keto and fasting. I can eat that. I don't care. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. They were able to take care of some stuff around here, working on things. They got stuff done. Oh, another thing Luck did, dude. Again, if you've been watching these episodes, I swear to you, every single day I tell you, tomorrow I'm gonna hook up the TVs. I'm gonna make sure that all the sports packages are good to go. I've told you that day in, day out. I ain't got it done yet. No, still not done. I told Luck one time. Boy's already got it already done. All right, now he's just making me look bad. I'm gonna have to whip his ass or something. But I'm proud of him. At least he got the shit done. I didn't do it, so he's better than me in my book. Just saying. No, I'm very thankful for him. I'm very thankful for Old Dog. Um, man, Gorilla Glue. I cannot Gorilla Glue the damn boxes on the back of the TV. And I didn't even have to. Dude, Luck fixed all of it. No joke. He's got them hooked up. He's actually got them attached to the back of the screens. I'm going to say him because he's done everything else correctly on this. He's just got to finish activating it on each screen. That's it. He's already sitting there figuring out how to do each controller. Like, dude's, yeah, he's nailing it. Tomorrow, I'm going to let him clock in and I'll think about paying him for it. Oh, you didn't think I was actually paying everybody, did you? Like, come on, guys. See episode 4, slavery. That's not the title of the episode. Don't do that. That's taken out of context. Just say it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready. It is time to hell hydrate. Did DDS just get blocked? I saw somebody's comment and then it went away. Was that DDS? You do realize I'm gonna get my ass kicked later. She is so gonna whip my ass. Volunteer work, right? Dude, we're definitely building some pyramids. That's the truth. Oh, DDS is back in here. Everyone, shh. No one tell her. Silly Nightbot. Oh, okay. Oh, Nightbot caught Cole for the Caps. All right. All right, let's get everybody in here for Hell Hydrate. Let's call in Old Dog. Let's call in. No way. Hey, before we uh before we break, and I gotta get my shot. But before we break, I gotta let you guys in a whole episode. Okay. You guys ever been to college? Any of you ever been to college? Raise your hand. You know, in the back. Okay. So a couple of you been to college. If you haven't been to college, I'm sure you've watched a few movies, TV shows, right? Heard a few stories. One of the stories, not stories, let me rephrase that. One of the proud traditions of college when I went there, um, well, I call it a proud tradition. Some other people, posers, called it hazing. And so it wasn't really allowed to be done a lot. But one of the proud traditions that we had is when you were the first one to fall asleep at the party, let's just say you weren't as wholesome as you once were once you wake back up. So I'm here to tell you, and this is mainly for Brussels. You're going to want to pay attention to this real quick. Lucky's asleep. And when I get done taking a shot, I'm going to draw so many dicks on his face in magic marker. It's going to look like a scrub pad. Like when you see him tomorrow, it's just going to be all up over this. Okay. I'm just letting you guys know right now. Okay. Yeah, that's happening. It's happening. Okay. I warned you. That's what happens when you fall asleep. It's all, hey, proud tradition. Okay. Not hazy. Stupid. Stop changing vocabulary. All right. I have dragged on enough that you guys should all have your shot right now. So here we go. We got the TRT cup. Oh yeah. Now, I do have to let you guys know that we're gonna switch it up slightly today for our out drink. The reason being, um, by the way, if I had my soundboard right now, this is where I start playing taps. Yeah. Because yesterday we finished the bottle, and I'm not out of Jaeger because that would be a blasphemy. I got more down there, but I'm trying to save some for the bar. And in all fairness, I've got a lot of alcohol that I can choose from, so I'm going to mix it up slightly. So here's what I've done. I've actually been chilling Red Stack, becoming one of my new favorites. It really is. Not favorites, but it's becoming one of my go-tos. So here comes the drink. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I do not care what you are hell hydrating with. I don't care if you're taking a shot of milk because it does your body good. I don't care if you're using Jaeger because, well, that's just the shit that needs to be drunk. I don't care if you're taking a shot of weed out of your pen. I don't give a damn what you're doing. I just want to make sure you're participating. So get it up. Here we go. I believe my bartender's like a 3 second pour, so everybody count with me. All right, starting. All right, one Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi. Okay, there we go. Sorry, it was a little. Okay, three Mississippi. That was what I saw. Yeah, it's not much left. So we did a 3 second pour, which anyone that's been a bartender knows. 3 second pour is, you get about a half ounce per second. So if you do the quick math, um, you get a small shot. And so that's what we're going to do. So, first of all, before we make our toast, I know I drag these out. It's a Southern goodbye. Welcome to the family. Couple shout outs. First of all, to BJHVGCXY, To Coles 037, we appreciate both of you. Welcome to Calypso's Lounge. We hope you had some laughs. We hope you guys come back. Can't wait to have you guys here tomorrow. Remember, everybody, those two as well, but everybody, remember we got another special announcement coming up tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned. Um, this is the time that I'm going to say a big thank you to the stream team. They kept me up. They were telling me when I had sound problems. They're helping me fix everything that we got going. So I absolutely love that. I appreciate everybody. My managers are there. We had a good time. We had some laughs. Boy, is my wife going to kick my ass. We had all the visitors we had in today. We appreciate you. But here it is. It is time to hydrate. We got to get out of here. Put the glasses in the air. Put your shots up. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, this is to all the families out there. Hey, may you keep your loved ones close. May you hold on to them and never let them go. May you treasure every single day. May you always be far, but never apart. Skol. Now, hoo-wee. Hold up. Hold up. I got to tell you what I'm tasting. I got to tell you what I'm tasting. That is a chilled Jim Beam, which, by the way, delicious. But it has a hint of cherry. And I mean a hint. It's not like that cherry sauce that you get in Coca Cola, but it's like a hint of cherry. Oh, and it feels so nice and warm. It's running down right now. It's running down. It feels so nice and warm. I love it. One more thing. One more thing before we get out of here. And that is our very last shout out goes to Arthur. We appreciate you, Arthur. We appreciate that you have been here for as long as you have. We appreciate that you have watched over this place. We appreciate that you have brought it to us in which the condition that we have found it in. And we hope that we live up to everything that you want. So, to Arthur, thank you. And may we live in harmony together. To everybody else, you know me. I'm your host with the most. Dude, I'm your bow with the flow. I'm Calypso. And on behalf of everybody here, Ted Rose Tavern, opening December 4th with Jeff Rarick, December 5th, Toby Leach. May the stars light your path. May the wind blow your way. We out. Have a great night, everybody. Hey, stay saucy.